For the last couple of years, there has been this massive, almost apocalyptic expectation about AI and jobs.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
we kept hearing that software engineers were going to be obsolete, right? That
Hmm.
coding as a profession was just dead because AI could spin up whatever software you needed in seconds.
Yeah, that was the entire narrative.
But you step into the real world of Fortune 500 companies right now, I mean, here in the summer of 2026, and the reality is just completely upside down.
It really is.
Instead of the tech workforce being fully automated, there's this one highly specific, flesh and blood human job role that the biggest companies on the planet are practically going to war over.
Right, and the irony is it's not the people building the AI.
Nope.
It's the people duct taping it to the old broken systems we already have.
Exactly.
The grand automation wave hasn't wiped out the need for human engineers at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just created an intensely desperate demand for a completely different breed of
A
them.
totally new breed.
Yeah, we're looking at a massive bottleneck in the corporate ecosystem, and it all revolves around a role known as the Forward Deployed Engineer, or FDE.
Welcome to the deep dive, by the way. We are so glad you are joining us today because our mission today is to unpack this totally fascinating shift in the AI job market.
It's a huge shift.
We're pulling from a recent July 30, 2026 analysis in TechCrunch by Rebecca Bellin, which really digs into this bizarre supply shock.
Yeah, she did a great job laying it out.
And it makes you realize if you're managing a team right now and you're feeling the pressure from above to just, use AI to cut costs.
Which everyone is hearing right now.
Right. This dynamic explains exactly why your internal developers are struggling to make it happen.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we get into the wild lengths companies are going to try to hire these people, we need to establish what an FDE actually does on a Tuesday that makes them so fundamentally different from a standard software developer.
Well, the distinction is entirely about the environment they operate in. Usually, a traditional software developer sits comfortably inside their own company's tech bubble,
Nice and safe.
right? They write code, they push it to a clean repository, they build a product in a vacuum, and then they ship it.
Right.
A forward-deployed engineer doesn't have that luxury at all. They are literally deployed forward into the client's organization.
Hence the name.
Exactly. They have to work on the front lines inside the client's completely chaotic, messy, legacy systems.
I mean, corporate tech stacks are usually a nightmare.
They're a disaster. So their job isn't to build a new AI model from scratch. Their job is to take an existing AI model and actually deploy it into those real, messy corporate workflows.
I was trying to visualize this, and the best analogy I could come up with is this.
Let's hear it.
If a foundational AI model like a GPT-5 or a Claude 3.5 is this pristine, state-of-the-art, multi-billion-dollar jet engine,
Okay, I like where this is going.
then an FDE is the master mechanic who actually has to figure out how to bolt that jet engine onto a company's existing 2004 Honda Civic without blowing the whole thing up.
That's incredibly accurate. But take that Honda Civic analogy one step further, though.
Okay.
What happens when the CEO of the company demands that the jet engine be bolted on and generating profit by Q3, but the Honda Civic has rusty bolts,
Oh, boy.
and the wiring hasn't been updated in a decade,
Right, right.
and half your engineering team doesn't even have the security clearance to look at the engine block?
That sounds like a complete nightmare.
That is exactly what an FDE is dealing with every day. They don't just need to understand how the jet engine works. They have to intimately understand the Honda Civic.
You'd have to get under the hood.
Yeah, they have to sit in a room with a VP of finance who, frankly, doesn't understand cloud architecture
Which happens a lot.
all the time.
Yeah.
They translate those business needs into technical reality, and then they have to dig into a 20-year-old Oracle database to make it happen without triggering compliance violations.
So they're playing mechanic and diplomat.
Exactly. That requires the technical chops of a senior back-end developer, the communication skills of a management consultant, and the intuition of an AI researcher.
Which totally explains why we are seeing a demand curve in the hiring data that basically looks like a vertical line.
It's unprecedented.
There's a study we're looking at from the executive search firm Christian and Timbers. And to be clear, for you listening, this isn't just a casual online poll of mid-level managers.
No, this is the real deal.
Between January and June of 2026, they interviewed over 250 C-suite hiring executives
Wow.
across 180 companies, including 80 Fortune 500 executives plus 300 applied AI engineers.
That is a massive sample size for this specific field.
Right. We are talking about the people who hold the actual purse strings.
Yeah, it's a highly robust look at real enterprise budget allocation. And the shift they captured is just staggering.
Give us the numbers.
Well, at the start of this year, early 2026, only about 5 to 10% of these companies were planning to hire FDEs.
Okay, pretty low.
And at that point, it was mostly just to run tiny, compartmentalized experimental pilots.
Like, let's see if the AI can draft emails, that sort of thing.
Exactly, very low stakes.
Mhm.
But by the end of the second quarter,
Yeah,
that number spiked to 70%.
70% from 10%.
Yeah. The largest consulting firms are currently trying to increase their FDE headcount by 10 times, trying to build full deployment teams of 20 to 100 people.
That's insane.
Christian & Timbers is projecting a 2,100% demand surge by the end of the year.
And the founder of the search firm, Jeff Christian, pointed out a massive red flag in corporate behavior here.
Oh, the summer hiring thing.
Yes, he noted that enterprises are hiring for these roles in the middle of summer.
Which is unheard of.
Right, because in the corporate world, July is dead time.
Everybody's on vacation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You hire in Q1 when budgets unlock, or you plan for Q4.
Yeah.
You do not overhaul your technical infrastructure and go on a hiring spree in July unless something has gone terribly wrong and you are in a state of pure panic.
And that panic is entirely driven by Wall Street right now.
How so?
Well, we are officially exiting a 2-year phase that the industry calls token maxing.
Token maxing.
Mm.
Right, we've spent 2 years in this token maxing phase where C-suites were basically just throwing API keys at their staff,
Just handing them out like candy.
buying access to models, and just hoping massive productivity gains would magically happen by osmosis.
Exactly. It was a period of frantic exploration where simply announcing you were investing in AI was enough to bump your stock price.
The hype wave.
But Wall Street doesn't run on exploration forever. We have now slammed into the era of value maxing.
Value maxing, I like that term.
Yeah, Wall Street is looking at these balance sheets this summer, seeing hundreds of millions of dollars spent on compute, on tokens, on pilot programs.
And they want returns.
They are preparing to say, hey, we gave you 2 years to figure this out. Show us the financial return.
Time's up.
Just Christian is explicitly warning that this fall, the market is gearing up to brutally punish companies that spent billions on AI without showing actual ROI.
The honeymoon is over.
It's totally over. You either prove financial value now or your stock tanks.
Oh. Okay, but I have to push back on this narrative of a sudden apocalyptic talent drought, though.
Sure, lay it on me.
Because I'm looking at these panic numbers, and I just don't buy it yet.
Why not?
We just went through a massive wave of tech layoffs over the last few years.
That's true, we did.
Google, Meta, Amazon, they let go of thousands of brilliant, highly capable software engineers.
Tens of thousands, yeah.
There is a massive pool of talent out there. So how can there possibly be a drought of people who can write code for AI?
Because building a cool conversational AI demo on your laptop using Python is fundamentally different from deeply integrating a language model into a multinational corporation's heavily regulated financial system.
Okay, fair point.
The numbers in the study really highlight how rare this specific intersection of skills is.
Give me the breakdown.
So there are roughly 17,000 forward-deployed engineers in the U.S. total right now.
17,000.
Okay, but out of that pool, Christian & Timbers estimates there are only about 2,000 who are considered truly elite.
Wait, 2,000 total in the entire country?
Yes.
Not 2,000 looking for work, 2,000 in existence.
In existence. And those elite few are the only ones who can deliver the scale of ROI that Wall Street is currently demanding.
Wow.
We aren't talking about saving an HR department a few hours a week on drafting internal memos.
Right, Wall Street doesn't care about that.
Elite ROI is measured in multiple tens of millions of dollars. It requires structural transformation.
Well, the TechCrunch article actually quotes Chris Taylor, who is the CEO of a firm called Ode with Anthropic, and he breaks down the difference between a regular FDE and an elite one perfectly.
What did he say?
He says, and I quote, "Many FDEs are well equipped to help you roll Claude code out to your workforce. Very few are capable of building your flagship AI product feature."
And we really need to look at the mechanics of what a flagship feature actually requires.
Tell me.
Jeff Christian noted that elite FDEs are doing things like completely replacing a company's FP&A, the financial planning and analysis department,
The entire department.
or implementing systems that replace 2,300 document processors in India.
That is massive scale.
Right. To do that, an FDE isn't just writing a clever prompt.
Yeah, that's not prompt engineering.
Not at all. They have to build custom routing architectures. Let's say a massive unstructured shipping manifest comes in.
Okay.
The FDE has to build a system where the AI knows exactly which legacy SAP database to ping.
Oh, which is hard enough.
Then they have to format the data extraction to match a 20-year-old proprietary JSON structure.
Oh, man.
And, crucially, they have to create a human-in-the-loop fail-safe for the 4% of the time the model hallucinates a tracking number.
Because it always hallucinates eventually.
Always. You cannot hand that level of operational risk to a junior developer who just learned how to use an API.
Definitely not.
You need someone who understands enterprise risk, legacy data pipelines, and frontier model behavior. Hence, the 2,000 elite master mechanics.
Which means those 2,000 people are holding all the cards.
All of them.
But here's the twist that really elevates this whole situation from a standard corporate staffing problem into a massive tech industry Cold War.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
It is not just the Fortune 500 banks and insurance companies that are sweating right now. The AI creators themselves, like the massive frontier labs like OpenAI and Anthropic, they're under immense pressure, and it is putting them on a collision course with their own customers.
The pressure on the AI giants is arguably even worse.
How so?
Well, they have spent tens of billions of dollars building massive data centers and training these foundation models.
Right, the sunk costs are astronomical.
But right now, they are facing an existential threat from the open source community.
Open weights.
Yes, particularly cheaper, highly capable open weight models coming out of China. The foundational models themselves are rapidly becoming commodities.
That's a scary thought for them.
Very. If anyone can get a GPT-4 class model for pennies, how does an American AI giant justify an $80 or $90 billion valuation?
Right, you can't.
The only way is to prove enterprise value. They have to inject their technology so deeply into the workflows of Fortune 500 companies that they become indispensable.
Which totally explains their countermove.
Yes.
They aren't just selling access to their models anymore. They are literally spinning off entirely new ventures focused purely on implementation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we mentioned Ode with Anthropic. That is a new services firm specifically focused on deploying Anthropic's models.
Right.
And OpenAI just launched their own deployment company.
They did.
They are staffing these spin-offs with their own elite forward-deployed engineers whose sole mission is to parachute into the corporate world and bolt their specific jet engines onto as many Honda Civics as possible.
Which sounds like a perfect match, right?
Right. The AI giants have the mechanics. The Fortune 500 companies need the mechanics. Problem solved.
It sounds incredibly elegant in theory. But in practice, the friction is massive.
Because?